What's up, y'all? Got a little early video before I go in here and take a nap right quick. I just want to talk about this Nipsey hustle nonsense. I've been seeing a bunch of videos on YouTube, and the only perspective I can say I agree with is Akuntinde Nation 2.0, where these dudes was just killed over some black hood street beef bullshit. Wasn't no Dr. CB conspiracy. Wasn't no government plot. To me, it wasn't no. The only thing I believe was a psyop about it was the Obama clapper information came out, and this just happened to fall into their lap, and they made it a bigger story than it would have been. I've been seeing stories talking about how this dude was so great and how he was going to save us all and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that he deserved to die or nothing like that. My condolences. I don't wish death on people, so that's not my point. My point is, I never heard of this dude. Like, who is this dude? Never heard a song he made to Axe played a clip on it last night, some fuck Donald Trump song. People say all these people he was doing good and he was doing this and he was doing that. How many of y'all know a dude that sell dope and then build a community center, sell dope and then he handing out food at a homeless shelter? Like I said, that's the light in the dark that dwell within us all. You gotta choose. That's a fence straddler. That's somebody who can't decide whether he loved Jesus or Satan. I can't rock with you on that. If you a changed man, why do you care if somebody's a snitch? That's the problem in the black community now. Not just gang violence, it's this no snitching code. No snitching is why these people never get closure to their relatives' deaths. I remember back in 2015, we had a rash of little kids killed here in Cleveland. One of them died a day before my birthday. Major Howard, he was 3 years old. He was outside with his mom and his godmother. Some clown named Darnell Lindsay came by shooting at Lord knows who, shot Major in the chest. He died. It took them years to catch Darnell Lindsay. Years. And the U.S. Marshals had to catch him. People aided and abetted him and everything. Because won't nobody snitch. People be all on Facebook. Snitches get stitches. Snitches get stitches. So they perpetuate that, and they are okay with these kids being murdered and their killers never being brought to justice. 5-month-old baby, Avielle Wakefield. Her mother and grandmother get in the car with her on the way to the grocery store to pick up a birthday cake for her father. She gets shot in the chest and died. 5-month-old baby. They never found her killer. And that was 2015. And that was just a couple weeks after Major Howard. And Major Howard was just a few months after Ramon Barnett, who was 5. A lot of y'all follow me from Access Channel, a couple y'all from CAG. I'm going to put this in perspective for y'all. Y'all hear how much Axe talk about the crime in Atlanta. Now go Google the 25 most dangerous cities to live in the United States in 2015. Atlanta's not even in the top 25. Chicago is 21. Cleveland, where I'm from, is number 9. It's number 9. It's top 10. Now, imagine how much crime is happening in Atlanta and it's not in the top 25. So imagine how much more crime is happening in Cleveland. Because like Brandon Tatum always say on his channel, it's always white people protecting us, but we want to stay mad at white people. Don't nobody tell our kids to be cops. My cousin is a cop, but we don't always have black people willing to patrol our community. So how much do you really care about the community? How come Colin Kaepernick's not encouraging young black men and women to be police officers? Because they never talk about the black police officers that shoot people. It's always just white. What, they don't think black and Hispanic police officers shoot people and kill people? You know, we as black people don't teach our kids to respect authority and to respect the police. We come from this fuck the police, cop killer mentality. You know, we all got to have the talk. I have 2 teenage sons. I've never had that you better watch out as the cops is gonna kill you talk. I had the you respect them because not only are they adults, but they are an authority figure talk. That's the talk I had with my sons with the cop. Every grown man is sir. Every grown woman is ma'am. You always speak. And then you listen and don't speak until you spoken to, and you don't talk back. Period. I don't worry about my sons being killed by cops or white people. I worry about people who look just like them killing them. You know, all these kids out here that's dying in the streets is dying by the hands of other kids just like them. And it's because they listening to people like Nipsey Hussle. You know, it don't matter how many businesses you build if you still poisoning the conscience of the youth. The youth literally take these lyrics serious. They don't understand that music is fantasy land. They don't understand that you're not living that life no more, allegedly. You know, why are you running people up off the block? Why are you even worried about it if you a changed man? And I'm not saying that he built some businesses, great. He's selling people $100 t-shirts, perpetuating the debt cycle, if you ask me. I mean, it is what it is. Why you trying to make a kid buy a $100 t? What kind of t-shirt costs $100? I buy a $100 t-shirt, it better fix my bus for me. In the height of Tommy Hilfiger being popular, I've got Tommy Hilfiger shirts for $15. If you go to the right, Dillard's or Kaufman's, and it was Dillard's and Kaufman's when I was in school, not Macy's. You know, and you got to look at how the Democrats and the liberals still push fatherless homes on us. They still perpetuate that single motherhood. Hey, strong black woman. So what? Why do you want to have to be that? You can be strong and still have a husband. Because there are certain things kids need from their fathers, and not just boys, but girls too. And there's certain things that kids need from their mothers. The yin and yang, that's what create the balance. You know, y'all remember that song I posted? I told y'all to listen to the little message at the beginning. One song where he said, life's society reflects society, then it becomes society reflects art. They pull a switch. Now everything is the movies. Because they out here killing like it's not no consequence for it. They giving out these terrible messages because they don't have to live the consequence. You know, Kamala Harris and all these people can push whatever narrative they want. She don't have no children. And even if she did, she's married. She wasn't about to go out here and be no mother at 15 and 16 years old. You know, she wasn't about to do that. These women who push this nonsense go right home to a husband that pays the mortgage. Well, they telling you it's cool to be out here struggling, living for income tax time every year. Then putting yourself in debt at Christmas time and living for income tax time and buying that car that's going to last you 2 months and then it's going to be broke down on the side of the road. You know, we all laugh and point, there go an income tax whip. That stupid mentality that's perpetuated through rap. Yes, the CIA created gangster rap. You know, that Dr. CB, man, don't nobody know who this guy is. Now, all of a sudden, everybody got his greatest hits and his mixtape on their phone. I don't have no greatest hits from this dude on my phone. I barely know who Young Boosie is. So I definitely don't know who this dude was. You know, and may he rest in peace, and sorry for his wife or fiance or girlfriend and his kids and all that, but Man, when you put that type of energy out into the universe, man, some stuff is just karma catching up with you. You know, he was giving the kids a great message, telling kids not to buy flashy jewelry. He was on a Breakfast Club with 9 gold chains on. Everybody know that when you shoulder to shoulder with somebody and your struggle is the same, and then you get out, instead of being with people that's in your lane, you come back and throwing in my face that you a millionaire. People's egos can't take stuff like that, especially in our community. And this is how bad it is. I remember one of my favorite basketball players played for Charlotte, Lonzo Mourning, family man. He talking to young boys about being responsible and pulling their pants up and going to school and graduating and getting married and having kids and being a good father and role model to his kids and that type of stuff. He get criticized because somebody gonna say, well, if some of those boys are gay, they can't get married and have kids. Instead of applauding him, telling young black boys that they should pull their pants up, dress like they got some sense, act like they got some sense, go to school, get an education, get married and have a family and be a good husband and father. So you get criticized for that. You criticizing a man who has a high school named after him in the state he live in, because he's giving a positive message. He a black man trying to give a positive message to black people. That's what we do. What about the gay ones? What about them? Now gay people can get married. They adopt kids, whatever. Who cares? Who these representatives y'all keep putting in office, what are they doing about this problem? Why aren't they getting these boys when they're young and impressionable? Hey, like Larry Elder said, finish high school. Don't have a kid before 20. And when you do have a kid, make sure you're married. Those 3 things, you end up successful. Them 3 simple things, they easy. They easy to be successful. But another thing I got to say that, that needs to stop is, I know the child support system is rigged in women's favor. I am aware of that. It didn't work in my favor because I didn't need it to. I don't care about that. Not all women is going to be like that. To me, if I got to make you take care of your kids, fuck you. My oldest son's father, he's never seen him. He doesn't even know what his name is. And my 2 youngest kids' father, my ex-husband, we ain't seen him in 10 years. Why? I'm not about to keep running down the court to make you take care of your kids. You don't want to take care of your kids, fine. That's why I work every day, so I can take care of them. The most I would have wanted is you to come pick them up on the weekend and spend time with them. And I don't care if you spent the whole weekend taking them to places that's free. Whatever. But what people need to stop perpetuating is, oh, these bitches take us to child support and they taking this money and it blah, blah, blah. A good man can only speak from a good man's perspective. You don't know what it's like to be the woman that has kids with the dude that will quit a job and never work another one just so he don't have to give you child support. I know dudes that quit jobs. Why you working at this under the table job? Because I ain't paying no child support. I said, okay, but when was the last time you seen? Oh, I ain't seen my kids in 9 years. Okay, but you got an under the table job, so you take an under the table job to keep from paying child support and just disappear out of your kid's life. There's plenty of men that do that. And some of them women, they go down to child support to try to get them. My oldest son's father was one of them. I ain't filed an income tax in blah, blah, many years. I'm like, why not? Oh, because I ain't paying that child support. But go years and years and years and years and years without seeing your kids on top of it. You know, some of that court shit is to create a dialogue. I know people that had their own child support arrangement worked out between each other and they kept the courts out of it. That's what two adults do. But some of y'all have put the seed in these young boys' heads when you demonizing women and demonizing the system. Then these boys go out and get all these kids and they see child support and then they go kill the mother. You know, we just had a little girl murdered in the Akuntinde area, Saturday. She was 14. Part of the story was that she was pregnant by one of the 13 or 14-year-old boys. She got killed by a 13 or a 14-year-old, allegedly. At least they held him for questioning. Now, I don't know how true that is. That's just what a coworker said to me. But stuff like that happen all the time. This one dude got off work and drove miles and miles and killed his child's mother. And she was getting something like $25 per kid. But he working at McDonald's. Like, that's her fault. They perpetuate abortion on us. Abortion costs the taxpayers however much, but it also costs that person out of the pocket. It costs you $500-$600. How much do condoms cost? You can get a condom at a gas station for $1. So instead of telling these young people, hey, why don't you protect yourself if you're not ready to have kids? You should have the right to kill the kid. Not, why don't you take your trifling ass down in Shell and get a condom? Take your trifling ass to Walgreens to take $5 to get a 3-box. They don't do that. So it's a balance that, young girls have to be taught that, not making yourself so available and making it so easy for a boy to even be with you. Everybody frowns upon Judeo-Christianity, where they teach not having premarital sex, and I don't necessarily agree to it to that extent, because you're not sexually compatible with your mate and your relationship is going to fall apart. That's just a fact. I mean, it is what it is. But, why we even got 13 and 14-year-olds that's pregnant? That don't make no sense. And that's rampant throughout our neighborhoods. And other cultures don't have that breakdown within their family structure as a whole. It's not because of white privilege or Hispanic privilege or Asian privilege. It's because they stick to their value systems better. It's because they have more value of the nuclear family and the patriarchy. How many Chinese women do you see are single mothers? Are any Chinese women single mothers? Is that even allowed? Instead of us being so worried about why a white girl won't dreads or big earrings, who fucking cares? Cultural appropriation. Just making up words. These things weren't things 2-3 years ago. There was no such thing as intersectionality and cultural appropriation and all these phobias and is. There's no such thing as transphobia and homophobia. Nobody has an irrational fear of gay and trans people. Nobody has an irrational fear of people that are immigrants. Most people don't care if you leave them alone. But you turn on Love and Hip Hop, every chick in there, what kind of hairstyle? She got some news reporter ass hairstyle. News reporter hairstyles, that's a white girl hairstyle. So it's okay to culturally appropriate white people? You worried about what R. Kelly and them talking shit about Michael Jackson when it's people out here dying in the street every day over bullshit. And they keeping us distracted. That Michael Jackson shit was a distraction. You got to admit, whether he touched them kids or not, he had no business sleeping in the bed with them. What people should have been encouraging him to do is get some help for that whatever it was from the trauma of being the son of Joe Jackson, that rotten piece of shit. But the fact that that's been a story more than one damn day, talk about it, get over it, and get back to the fact that it's 14-year-olds out here being murdered. Why is this 14-year-old girl's death not national news? But you got people taking selfies, taking pictures of they self crying over Nipsey Hussle. The only person that need to be crying about him is his wife and kids. You on Instagram giving me whole monologues about how sad you are about him. Snoop Dogg wearing hats to say "Make America Crip Again." Well, America cripping again is why Nipsey Hussle is dead. And you can't stand Donald Trump, but you're not creative enough to come up with a clothing line that's not a spinoff of his slogan. See what I'm saying? It's all stupid. It's all bullshit. You know, you can't go to the gas station in these Shine neighborhoods. You can't go to the Foot Locker in these Shine neighborhoods. And everybody talk, it's Michael Jordan's fault. No, it's your fault for being a trifling piece of shit. Michael Jordan need to beef up the security so people, ain't nobody stealing Jordans while you in the store buying them. They stealing them from your ass going to school, coming from school, at the bus stop, in school, in your backyard, in the parking lot, going to your car. So Michael Jordan just need to give every person around the world a personal security guard to make sure some fucking Akata don't come steal their shoes. You don't have the right to be a businessman because people don't have enough morals, values, and self-control and self-awareness to go out and get a fucking job and buy some fucking Jordans. You know, these people out here that work at McDonald's and want minimum wage to be $15 an hour so they can have a bullshit job that still pay decent money because they don't want to work hard. And then you get a $400 check and shit like weed and Jordans is on your radar. That's why you can't afford to take care of your kids, because you too busy buying weave and Jordans and weed and liquor and whatever the latest fashion trend is. These fucking helmet hairstyles, these helmets y'all buy that got that same stupid fake part right there, and then you got your fucking little lace front screen door showing, and it, you know, it's all twirled around halfway down your shoulders. Everybody know that ain't your real hair, and that shit looks stupid, and you don't care. And then all these girls grow up acting stupid and looking stupid just like you. You know, because ain't nobody out here real. Every dude want a chick that look like Kim Kardashian. Every chick want a dude that look like whatever fucking popular asshole rappers out here nowadays. Whatever. And the real motherfucker that you pass up and pass by, that be the motherfucker, woman that ain't gonna put your ass on child support. Or that be the dude that ain't gonna make you a single mother. But you don't want nothing to do with them. And that's how we end up in this cycle of illegitimacy in black neighborhoods. They say the single motherhood rate is 75%. The rate that black kids are born out of wedlock is 91%. That's a 91% illegitimacy rate. Because most of these kids are not being born to couples that are married. Because we do not value tradition anymore. You know, everybody, you know, like I said, outrage is the new black. Everybody always outraged. They tolerant and intolerant at the same time. These people will march in the streets over Muslims, and these people over in Libya castrating people and making little boys rape their sisters and raping women till they bleed to death and genital mutilation of little boys and little girls. They march over that culture and they right to believe in a religion where the main person of the religion was a pedophile. But don't let my mother come knock on your door Saturday and offer you a watchtower, or you wish you could kill her. You know, so when y'all telling them Jehovah Witness jokes, you telling that joke about my mother. And my mother ain't never did nothing to nobody. She don't care if you take the magazine or not. It's part of her faith to author it. All you got to do is say no. All you got to do is say, I don't want you to come back, and she won't. Period. Now, how many people say when they, you got some people that do, but in general, people are more tolerant over these religions where they have a history of hurting people. Because that's geo and social engineering. It's all brainwashing. It's all bullshit. And it all keep you distracted and confused. And then you wake up and you look up and the new world order is right in your face and you don't know how it got there. That fake woke shit. That LeBron James woke. Y'all following that. You don't think LeBron will be a good president? LeBron can barely fucking read. What do you mean? What is he gonna do? Give us all a bike and an iPad? I don't need a bike or an iPad. What he gonna do? What would he do? Give Kim Jong-un some tennis shoes? Well, Kim Jong-un like Jordans. So then what? You gonna talk that remedial slang bullshit over there at the G20 or Davos summit? And these are people they putting out there. Young people was looking up to LeBron and looking up to no. You look up to Jesus. What you looking up to an earthly man for who ain't no better than you? They just got more money in their pocket. And what do that mean? This guy had more money than me, and now he's dead. Because of that street shit. Oh, the gangs, they gonna get the gangs to work together. What you mean work together? Like X said earlier. How about getting together and saying, why don't y'all stop being a fucking gang? What is you still banging for? That's some 1980 shit. Fuck y'all still walking around with scarves tied around y'all face. Shooting at each other and running. To the point California got to pay you shines $1,300 a month not to kill each other. And then they wonder why that state $2 trillion in debt. And it's insufferable to live there. And people complain every day, and yet they stay. And ain't no telling how many people got killed in Chicago, and they up there marching for Kim Fox, talking about 16 shots in the cover-up. I guess talking about Laquan McDonald. What does that have to do with anything? Black Lives Matter. What do Black Lives Matter have to say about Sylvia McGhee? I'll let y'all know if they come up here to protest Sylvia McGhee, if they protest these little Akatas that killed her. The answer is going to be no. Because Black Lives Matter and Jesse Jackson and when Major Howard and Ramon Barnett and Aviel Wakefield and Rakisha Orr and all these young people was killed, they wasn't nowhere to be found. Nowhere. So Black Lives Matter don't matter to black people. So if they don't matter to black people, they're not going to matter to nobody else. I'm black. I don't have to tell you my life matter. I act like it matter. By getting my ass up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday and taking my ass to work and getting there on time and coming home and minding my own damn business. That's Black Lives Matter. You up there acting like marching up and down the street. You march and march and march like some racist dude is going to look out of his window and say, hey, There's 50,000 people marching up and down the street. I guess I better stop being racist now. Let's pass a law against racism. You see this, Jim? This law say we can't be racist no more. Huh? Guess we better start liking them niggers then. No. Racism is an emotion, and people are allowed to have it. And if they're racist, that's their fucking problem. And if they don't bother you, why do you give a fuck? Let them do what they want. They don't come on my or where I live at, where I lay my head at, so fuck them. Period. You know, we need to wake up and start teaching our kids better and protecting our kids. You know, I've seen cops beat the shit out of white teenagers with their mothers right there. And they sit there and get that ass whooping, and next thing you know, the mama got the police department in court. You want to know why these shooters, why they don't get shot by the police after they done shooting up a school? Because they don't resist arrest. That's why. Because when the cop tell them to get on their face, they do it. It's that simple. Y'all making Shine movies where the two Shines get pulled over and the cop tell the dude to freeze, and all of a sudden he need to brush his hair, so he reach in his car like the cop gonna know, oh, you know, he need to get his waves tight, so he's just gonna get his brush and brush his hair. Let's just wait till, you know, he's done brushing his hair and then he can comply. No. To them, you could be reaching for a weapon. Everybody want to play armchair quarterback. Because if he is reaching for a gun, both of y'all dead. If this video's been long enough, that's the end of my rant. I see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. Fuck the haters.